It's a great honor to present Kazakhstan on the Gender Summit for the first time. Thank you very much to organizing committee and to our sponsors. In the ranking of gender equality of the World Economic Forum, Kazakhstan is a leader of the Central Asia region and also the leader among post-Soviet republic of this region and occupies the 32nd place among 147 countries of the world. The government and the president, Nazarbayev, pay much attention to gender equality and stimulate active participation of women in economy and public life. In the government of Kazakhstan, 4 of the ministers are women, and 24% of parliament's members are women too. According to state strategy of gender equality, the representation of women on political stage posts, especially at the level of decision-making, will reach to 30% in 2019. To prepare women for political activity, about 60 schools of political leadership are founded in all regions of country. Since 2009, the law of the state guarantee of equal rights of men and women is carried out in Kazakhstan, and also 4 main priorities of the gender policy in Kazakhstan are defined. It's ensuring the gender equality in politics, advancing of women in economy, improvement of women's health and increased birth rate, eradication of violence against women. After destruction of the Soviet Union, many enterprises stopped, men lost works and became puzzled. Then women began to be engaged in trade and other type of economic activities. Now more than half of the current enterprises of small and medium business are founded and managed by women. And among individual entrepreneurs, absolute majority of women, 66%. Successful business activity considerably lifted the status of the woman in a family and society. But in labor market, it's difficult to women compete with men because of the family obligation, child care obligations, and so on. Even though education level of women in Kazakhstan higher than of men, the salary of women is on average 66% of men's salary. Kazakhstan society is influenced by many factors. Gender traditions of numerous nations occupying in Kazakhstan, traditions of Islam, Russian Orthodox Church, and post-Soviet Union. The policy of gender equality initiated and realized by the government headed by the president sometimes encounters subconscious resistance in society where the stereotype of house reproductive role of the woman settled. For example, after carrying out direct election to local governing bodies, the number of women deputies strongly decreased as voters preferred candidates of men. Therefore, the quoting method for participation of women in elections is temporarily entered in Kazakhstan. Owing to activity of international organizations and institutes maintaining gender equality, the mentality of people gradually changes. And because of the support of these organizations, the centers of gender education and gender investigations were opened at some universities. It was performed several investigations devoted to gender issues, mainly in sociology, psychology, and economy. In these studies were analyzed the reasons of labor discrimination of women, the life priorities of men and women, fishes of female business, etc. But gender investigation is not common in Kazakhstan. Gender approach to scientific researches means not only the analysis of biological distinctions between men and women, but also studying of their social characteristics in different spheres of public work, identification of the social reasons of gender inequality. Therefore, epidemiological study of hereditary ichthyosis in southern Kazakhstan, which reveals certain regional features of gender approach to investigation, may represent considerable interest. The total population covered by the investigation amounted to 650,000 people. Thank you. Because of the lack of time, I announce only the results. Some nations occupying Kazakhstan have the steady national traditions concerning relationship between men and women. For example, blood-related marriages are encouraged in certain ethnic groups. In our investigation, Uzbeks and Uyghurs. First of all, for economic reasons, given the dependent subordinated position of women. Our study revealed what the most severe forms of autosomal recessive the most severe forms of diseases they occurs more often in Uzbeks and Uyghurs families with low educational and socio-economic status and with a high degree of consanguinity. Also, poor and balanced nutrition, frequent childbirth, and chronic stresses of mothers and are another group of factors contributing to the higher rate of severe and complicated form of disease. Almost all hereditary diseases are very hard to cure. So the main task of physician is to prevent the birth of disease-affected child. People must to know what about 30% of families with disabled child are divorced, and our state can't force irresponsible fathers to pay the alimony in sufficient size yet. But effective medical genetic consultation is possible only with the sufficient biomedical education of women and improvement in their socio-economic status in the family, allowing them to make independent decisions. Then in Kazakhstan, it is necessary to study and more widely expand experience of developed countries in the sphere of gender equality and gender innovations for the joint solution of pressing problems and for further progress of the science and technologies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kim. I'd like to express my thanks to all the speakers for their wonderful work and impressive talks. Also, I would appreciate all the participants of our forum. Your energy and passion filled up the air of whole this room. Now we are going to have a Q&A session, and the forum, opens to the floor. And please raise your hands, and microphone will bring you to make it more smoothly. And if you have any questions, and also the panel can also have some discussions and comments on the other speakers' talk as well. Yes, please. Please introduce yourself first, and then give as concise as your question to.
I have just only comments. My name is Olga Krasnyak. Originally I'm from Russia, but I lived for many years in Korea and teach History of Science and Technology at Yonsei University. So I just have some comments. I've been listening to many great presentations with great speakers, and it's so obvious we are facing too many different problems. For example, in Australia or in Israel, women are encouraged to participate in academic sciences. But in case of Bangladesh or Pakistan, girls, they're not even supposed to graduate from high school, for example. So, and it's so disappointing, but it's very sad, I would say. But at the same time, it makes me very optimistic because we're talking about this. We're trying to do something with this. So, and it's a very great experience, I think, I believe, for all of us, just to look at this diversity of the problem, all the problems we're facing now. So, and it makes me very optimistic about the future. Thank you.
Good, good. Yeah. Good. You want to make some comments on her comments? Well, when I ring the bell, I feel very guilty to stop your wonderful talk, but still, I don't think I can, I don't think I did a good job to manage the time. I thought we could have at least half an hour question and answer time, but it's almost just 5 more minutes. But I wanted to ask the organizing committee, could we have some more time? No. Yes, okay, okay. So if you have any questions or comments, please raise your hands. Yes, please.
Yes.
Please identify yourself.
Yeah. My name is Hasumi Sato from Japan Science and Technology Agency. I would like to ask 2 questions for Dr. Please forgive me, my pronunciation is wrong. Dr. Chair Elian from Cambodia and Dr. Mia Kai Tian from Myanmar. My first question is for Dr. Elian from Cambodia. In your graph, female was represented in blue color and the male was represented in red color. In Japan, it's contrary. Always a female represented in red and boys is blue. So Cambodia, contrary, boys in red and girls in blue is common, or is there any special intention to use this color?
So thank you for the question, but intentionally it means nothing. For separation between male and female, but of course when because the slide was prepared in the last minute, so we just trying to make it more colorful, and red and blue is always the color that I like. But normally representing the color by gender in our case, when we talk about like boy or girl, it's normally girl with pink color and boys for blue colors. It's always happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm surprised. I myself has gender bias, kind of. And second, thank you very much. And second question is for Doctor from Myanmar. I'm very surprised many female students and teachers in the university in Myanmar. So does it mean men prefer working to studying? Is that common? Is that it common for boys to start work earlier than girls?
Please give a very short answer, please.
It doesn't mean that males only work instead of education. But according to the population, more females in our country, and females dominate males. That's why.
Thank you. Let's have one more question if you have. Yes, yes.
I would like to ask, first presenter from Australia. Oh, sorry. You include the high school, secondary school students in the program, right? And how do you manage it? I mean, what's the program with them?
The Academy of Science in Australia has two quite separate programs, one for primary school children, that's the one I spoke about. We also have a program for lower secondary school, that is years 7 to 10. It's a completely different program because the needs are different. So it's web-based, it's free to all high schools in Australia, and it concentrates on helping the high school teachers to communicate with each other, to have the latest equipment and knowledge to back up their knowledge. We're now looking at instituting yet another completely different program for senior high school for years 11 and 12. And then maybe we move on to university after that. But that's also been a very successful program. It's in, I think, about 30%. It's a much newer program. It's in about 30% of schools in Australia.
Thank you very much. Now, we have become better understand about the differences and the commons regarding the gender innovation. Each country and region face different challenges in promoting gender-sensitive research and innovations, as well as making greater gender balance in STEM field. Each country also has different priorities for utilizing gender-focused technologies to achieve sustainable socio-economic development. But there are also shared and universal gender concerns where by collaborating together, we learned from each other and could make better use of available resources. I hope this session was helpful for all of us and benefit to our society of Asia Pacific. I wish our efforts and outcomes of this session could be a milestone to make better world and bring us closer to the future we want. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. Thank you.